I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 forbidden love movies.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
How much time do we have?
I'm not sure. Last time it was no more than 5 minutes.
Joe Bradley, American News Service.
So happy, Mr. Bradley.
For this list, we're looking at films featuring two people in love whose romance is made difficult or even impossible because of social class, society, and all the people around them. We're only looking at romances in which the love is mutual, and we won't be considering animated films for this one either. Oh yeah, there will also be some major spoilers. Leaving a comment isn't forbidden. In fact, it's encouraged. So go ahead and tell us what you think below. Number 20, The Bridges of Madison County. It's 1965 and Francesca Johnson is living in Madison County with her husband and 2 children.
Can't sleep without you next to me anymore.
It's only 4 days, huh?
One day, National Geographic photographer Robert Kincaid comes to town to photograph the famous covered bridges.
Rosamond Bridge?
That's it.
And the two fall for each other.
I'm not out of date, am I? I've been picking flowers for a woman, a sign of appreciation.
No, not at all. Except those are poisonous.
Obviously, a married woman is forbidden by society and her vows to be with another man.
You want me to stop? Tell me now.
But her marriage has been without passion for years, and while her husband and kids are out of town, she and Kincaid spend 4 loving days together.
No one's asking you to.
'Cause I can see how fair you are.
They consider running off together, but Francesca decides not to abandon her family.
You're gonna tell me that this is the right thing to do? Giving it up?
We are the choices that we have made, Robert.
Instead, the two live only with memories of those 4 days for the rest of their lives. Number 19, Casablanca. Like The Bridges in Madison County, Casablanca is a romance featuring the forbidden love between a man and a married woman.
You are asking about Rick, and here he is. Mademoiselle, may I present...
Hello, Elsa.
Hello, Rick.
Oh, you've already met Rick, mademoiselle.
In the former film, it's the married woman who makes the difficult and heart-wrenching decision to not run off with the man that she loves.
Be serious, darling. You are in danger and you must leave Paris.
No. We must leave.
Yes, of course, we.
However, in Casablanca, it's the man, played by Humphrey Bogart, who makes that decision.
Kiss me. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Rick Blaine sends Ingrid Bergman's Ilsa off with one of the most famous quotes in the history of cinema.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris.
He tells her that if she doesn't go with her husband, she'll regret it.
He's looking at you, kid.
Number 18, Shakespeare in Love.
Can you love a fool?
Can you love a player?
In this romantic comedy drama, Shakespeare gets a taste of his own medicine when he joins the ranks of star-crossed lovers.
Master Shakespeare.
As just a poor writer, rich noblewoman Viola is way out of his league. Luckily for him, Viola is not your typical noblewoman, so she's willing to dress as a boy so that they can see each other.
Did you give her my letter?
And this is for you.
Women had no power during this time, and because she is told to do so, Viola marries Lord Wessex, despite her love for Will. The word unfair does not even begin to describe the situation.
Sin from my lips, oh trespass, sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
While Shakespeare and Viola do get to share the stage together, they are unable to continue their love. For the Queen herself couldn't break the laws of marriage and class in 16th century London.
Goodbye, my love. 1,000 times goodbye.
Write me well.
Number 17, The English Patient. Elaine Bennis didn't like the movie.
I don't know if I can be with someone who doesn't like The English Patient.
It's just a stupid movie.
But almost everyone else who saw The English Patient was completely drawn into this sweeping tale of forbidden love between a married woman and a cartographer in the 1930s.
I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
The relationship is short-lived because of the war and the fear of her husband finding out, but the two are brought back together when he rescues her from a plane crash.
You're wearing the thimble.
Of course. You idiot.
I always wear it. I've always worn it. I've always loved you.
However, when he goes to help,
a woman is dying. My wife is dying.
He's detained, and although able to escape, he can't make it back to her in time to save her. A regret and a pain that haunts him for the rest of his life.
I promise. I'll come back for you.
Number 16, Tristan and Isolde. While some forbidden loves have led to heartbreak and the end of marriages, the great romance between Tristan and Isolde led to war. The film takes place in the years following the fall of the Roman Empire and the battle to unite Britain.
Tristan!
With that as the backdrop, orphaned boy Tristan is taken in and raised by Lord Mark of Cornwall.
Do you remember anything else? The boat I found you in? How you got this? Too many questions.
Years later, Tristan meets and falls in love with the beautiful Isolde, but circumstances force them apart.
Outside, just past that bluff, there's a boat. That's how you should go when you leave.
Later on, Tristan wins a tournament that secures a wife for Mark, without knowing that the woman in question is his lost love, Isolde.
Tristan of Aragon has won you on behalf of Lord Mark.
Passion, loyalty, and honour all play a part in this classic tale of forbidden love. Number 15, Holes.
Hello, Miss Catherine.
Hello, sir.
The forbidden love in Holes takes place in flashback scenes dating back to the early 1900s.
I'll fix that roof in exchange for 3 jars of your spiced peaches.
It's a deal.
It was then that a beautiful white schoolteacher, Catherine Barlow, fell in love with Sam, a handsome African-American onion seller.
You know, that door doesn't hang straight.
I can fix that.
Interracial relationships were not looked upon kindly 100 years ago, and it didn't help that Catherine had pursued the relationship after rejecting a rich, white suitor named Charles Walker.
No one ever says no to try Walker.
I believe I just did.
Well, Walker's jealousy led him to do some horrible things that ended Catherine and Sam's relationship. And sent the heartbroken Catherine on an outlaw's path of vengeance.
Morning, Sheriff. You still want that kiss?
Number 14, Jungle Fever.
This is Angela Tucci. She's going to be replacing Terry.
In Jungle Fever, the fact that both people are in committed relationships seems to be the least forbidden aspect of it all.
I'm married. Happily married.
I know.
Flipper is married and Angie is engaged, but when they get together, that isn't what causes the people around them to disapprove.
What's the matter? Something wrong with your face?
Did it with a black guy?
Yeah.
It's the interracial nature of their partnership that makes everyone around them upset.
Here it is. The humble residence of 2 outcasts.
That right?
And while random strangers give them problems, their friends and families are just as disapproving of them being together. Love is never easy, but when it seems like everyone and everything is against you, it does make it hard to recognize how you truly feel.
You got with me spite your family, because you were curious about black.
Is that what you think it was?
Number 13, Memoirs of a Geisha. Memoirs of a Geisha is a historical drama spanning decades, but at the heart of the film is romance and a love unspoken. Well, unspoken until the end.
You knew I was that little girl.
Didn't you ever wonder why Mommy took you under her wing?
One day in Japan in the 1930s, a sad young girl is treated kindly by Chairman Ken Iwamura.
How did you come by such surprising eyes?
My mother gave them to me.
The girl, wanting to be a part of the chairman's life, decides to train to become a geisha.
Agony and beauty for us live side by side. Your feet will suffer. Your fingers will bleed.
When she becomes an apprentice, she is presented to the chairman and his business partner, Nobu. Nobu is intrigued by her, and the geisha is left assuming her feelings for the chairman are unrequited.
Do you really like him? No, that's what I thought. Do you like somebody else?
Is she right? It'll be many years and a world war before she finds out.
Every step I have taken since I was that child on the bridge has been to bring myself closer to you.
Number 12, Roman holiday. They say that true love can overcome everything.
Have I been here all night alone?
If you don't count me, yes.
Well, when you're a European crown princess who falls in love with an American journalist, love ain't overcoming that. Or at least it doesn't in Roman holiday.
I like to sit at a sidewalk cafe and look in shop windows, walk in the rain, have fun and...
What begins as a princess trying to escape her overly scheduled royal life and a journalist trying to get a big story turns into an amazing day in Rome falling in love.
Say, you know, you were great back there.
You weren't so bad yourself.
Eventually, the call of her royal duties prevails, but while Rick and Ilsa will always have Paris, and Francesca and Robert will always have Madison County, Princess Anne and Joe Bradley will always have Rome.
We believe that your highness's faith will not be unjustified.
I am so glad to hear you say it.
Number 11, The Great Gatsby. An upper-class girl falls in love with a man below her station.
So many dashing young officers here, and from such illustrious families.
The love affair ends and she goes on to marry someone else, but she never forgets about the other man. He goes on to become a very wealthy man and throws huge parties in the hopes that one day she will attend.
I'm certainly glad to see you again.
I'm certainly glad to see you as well.
It's a tale as old as time.
We were born different. It's in our blood.
You're nothing that you do, you are.
Although while Carey Mulligan is a beauty, no one would ever call Leonardo DiCaprio a beast. Also, unlike Beauty and the Beast, the forbidden romance of The Great Gatsby leads to a much less happy ending for the star-crossed lovers.
Remember how much fun we had? I don't know why we can't just have fun like that again.
Number 10, Dirty Dancing.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
This movie will make you want to sing, dance, and be lifted into the air by Patrick Swayze. Baby and Johnny try to keep their romance a secret because of Baby's father. Jake Houseman is a wealthy doctor who sees Johnny as an irresponsible working-class bad boy that isn't good enough for his innocent daughter and their well-to-do family.
Baby is like that. I mean, if you could just see...
Don't you tell me what to see. I see someone in front of me who got his partner in trouble and sent her off to some butcher while he moved on to an innocent young girl like my daughter.
However, he isn't the only one who is less than pleased to find out the two have been seeing each other behind his back, as resort owner Max Kellerman fires Johnny for breaking the rules about fraternizing with the vacationers.
They fired you anyway because of me.
Right when you think their romance is over though, Johnny comes swooping in with a one-liner and some dirty dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Number 9, The Notebook.
It wasn't over. Still isn't over.
2 words. Ryan Gosling. Who could turn down someone who looks like him? Well, Ali's parents. That's who. Because for them, looks aren't everything. Money is.
She is out fooling around with that boy till 2 o'clock in the morning, and it has got to stop.
To them, Ali is a rich heiress who shouldn't be with someone who is trash like Noah.
He is trash! 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 Not for you!
So the Hamiltons do what any loving parents would do, ignore their child's happiness, keep them apart, and hide all the letters Noah writes to Ali, all to keep their daughter, and their precious money, safe.
This is not about keeping your promise, and it's not about following your heart. It's about security.
What is that supposed to mean?
Money!
But despite Ali's parents, World War II, and Ali's fiancé, we find out that it isn't over between them, and that it won't be for many years to come.
Good night.
Number 8, Atonement.
What about you, Bryony? What sins have you committed today?
I've done nothing wrong.
Atonement is the story of love between Cecilia, the daughter of wealthy parents, and Robbie, the housekeeper's son.
Why are you crying? Don't you know? Yes, I know exactly.
This one has forbidden love written all over it, but that is only half the story. While their class positions would be hard enough to overcome, they aren't able to overcome Cecilia's younger sister, Bryony.
You saved me.
Stupid child! You could have killed us both! Is that your idea of a joke?
Bryony has a crush on Robbie, and through a series of jealous misunderstandings, she makes false accusations and he is sent to prison.
Tell me, did it give you pleasure to think of me inside?
No.
But you did nothing about it?
No.
Do you think I assaulted your cousin?
No.
Did you think it then?
Yes and no.
While she later tries to atone for her sins, it's too late for Cecilia and Robbie, proving how one moment and one lie can change people's lives forever. Number 7, Carol. Though we could have also chosen Far From Heaven for this list, it's Todd Haynes' other Oscar-nominated film Carol that made the list.
Oh, your perfume.
Yes.
It's nice.
Thank you.
The romantic drama tackles the hardships that same-sex couples faced in the 1950s, with Kate Blanchett playing the powerful Carol and Rooney Mara as the much more timid Therese. The two have such chemistry that it only seems right that they be together, and it's all the more frustrating when society and Carol's husband make things so difficult for them.
And would you like to marry him?
Well, I barely even know what to order for lunch.
In this relationship, Carol is the real warrior, and she gives a big middle finger to all that try and stand in her and Therese's way.
Now what happened with Therese, I wanted, and I will not deny it, or say that but I do regret, and I grieve for the mess we are about to make of our child's life.
Number 6, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
You are 30 years older than I am. You and your whole lousy generation believes the way it was for you is the way it's got to be. And not until your whole generation has lain down and died will the dead weight of you be off our backs.
This comedy drama sees Joanna and John having to fight to get approval from their parents to get married, which is complicated by the fact that they are an interracial couple.
You know I ought to call my folks and get that out of the way.
Okay, use the phone in the study. Are you going to introduce me?
This was a big deal at the time because interracial marriage was illegal through more than half of the 1960s. And in fact, anti-miscegenation laws would only be abolished during the same year that the film was released.
And it never occurred to me that I might fall in love with a Negro. But I did, and nothing in the world is going to change that.
Bolstered by powerful acting performances, knowing that Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was Spencer Tracy's last film makes his final speech even more chilling and emotional, and adds even more poignancy to Joanna and John's love story.
You can try to ignore those people, or you can feel sorry for them and for their prejudices and their bigotry and their blind hatreds and stupid fears. But where necessary, you'll just have to cling tight to each other and say, screw all those people.
Number 5, Moulin Rouge.
The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved.
This sexy musical takes place in Paris in the 1900s at the famous cabaret known as the Moulin Rouge. Satine, played by Nicole Kidman, is a sensual courtesan who is wooed by writer Christian, played by Ewan McGregor.
It's for people like you that keep it turned on.
The musical numbers are lively, the sets are vibrant, and their sex appeal is through the roof. But of course, there's something, or in this case someone, keeping them apart. The villainous Duke, who is willing to finance Satine's show as long as he has exclusive rights to her. After the Duke's efforts to tear them apart fail, a happy ending is dangled in front of us for a brief moment. However, it's all taken away in one heartbreaking moment when Satine dies from tuberculosis in Christian's arms. Number 4, West Side Story.
Maria, I've just met a girl named Maria.
You could call this the 20th century New York version of Romeo and Juliet, but with music. In this romantic musical drama, Maria is a member of the Puerto Rican gang, the Sharks, and Tony is a member of the rival white gang, the Jets. This isn't the ideal situation for a budding romance, and so no matter what they do, they just can't seem to erase the years of hatred between the gangs.
But it's not us. It's everything around us.
Then I'll take you away, where nothing can get to us. Not anyone or anything.
As such, the lovers decide that the only way they can be together is by running away and getting married in secret. But as we've seen in several entries on this list already, forbidden love stories tend to end in tragedy. And unfortunately, it's no different for this couple. Tony is shot by Maria's arranged fiancé, Chino, and he dies in her arms.
Well, I can kill too, because now I have hate!
Number 3, Brokeback Mountain. Warning, this movie will make you cry. It tackles the homophobia that was rampant in America in the 1960s through the story of Ennis, played by Heath Ledger, and Jack, played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sometimes I miss you so much I can hardly stand it.
The two cowboys fall in love, but must live apart for fear of being discriminated against, or worse, killed. The few times they do get to see each other demonstrates how much they truly love each other, and how unjust it is that they can't be together.
If you can't fix it, Jack, you gotta stand it.
For how long?
As long as we can ride it.
The women and children in their lives serve to complicate matters further, but it's the romantic drama's ending that really pulls at your heartstrings, and leaves very few moviegoers with dry eyes.
There's never enough time, never enough.
Number 2, Romeo and Juliet.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
Romeo and Juliet are arguably the most famous star-crossed lovers in history. You know the story, but here's a quick recap. Romeo is a Montague, and Juliet is a Capulet, which means they are from two dueling families that will never let them be together. So, in the end, they take their own lives.
Dateless bargain to engrossing death.
What makes this version of the play so memorable is that it keeps the poetic language of Shakespeare and contrasts it with modern-day sets, weapons, and clothes. Director Baz Luhrmann makes the double suicide even more heartbreaking when we're allowed to watch Juliet with a little glimmer of hope as she wakes up to see Romeo in his final dying moments.
Now kiss thy lips. Please some poison yet to hang on.
But this is all too quickly taken away when she realises the truth and takes her own life shortly thereafter.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Titanic.
Where to, miss?
To the stars.
At the top of our list is another story in which we find parents standing in the way of true love.
Don't do it.
Stay back! Don't come any closer!
Come on. Just give me your hand. I'll pull you back over.
Rose's family, to put it bluntly, are complete snobs. To them, a person's character is measured by wealth, and that puts Jack, a penniless artist, at about a 0. They will only sell Rose to the highest bidder, which is how she gets a fiancé like Cal.
My wife in practice, if not yet by law, so you will honor me.
But the teenage Rose won't have any of it, and she decides to keep seeing the lower class Jack while she's on board the Titanic.
Flying!
Though they spit, dance and fly together, fate has other plans for the couple. Though the unsinkable ship ultimately sinks, Jack proves that money doesn't make the man when he makes the ultimate sacrifice to save Rose. Their love may have been forbidden, but it was also undeniably one of the most memorable to ever be put to screen.
I'll never let go. I promise.
agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.